Exactly. Looks going here. Okay. Well, what's up, LA? I am here with Leilani Squire from Returning Soldiers Speak. Thank you so much for being with us. So tell me a little bit about Returning Soldiers Speaks and what prompted you to start the program.
Thank you very much for having me, Brian, and Arts Up LA. I was born in an army hospital during war and raised in the military. So I grew up in the military and culture. And I'm also a writer, when the wounded soldiers started coming back from Iraq and Afghanistan in the early part of this century, I wanted to help them write, heal their wounds, or gain new perspectives through writing, because I know from my own experience that writing can help heal trauma and deep wounds. So I began a writing workshop over at the domiciliary at the West LA um, Veterans Hospital. And that's how I began working with veterans. Then I established Returning Soldiers Speak to continue that work. And it's a nonprofit. That's basically why I began, to help, and also so that the veterans, the soldiers who were coming back wouldn't experience what the Vietnam veterans did. They experienced back in the 60s when they came home from war. I didn't want to repeat. I wanted something different.
Wonderful. Well, so I know Les, who we know from volunteers, introduced our organizations, and we're so excited to be working with you on the Letters Project. The Letters Project sounds like such an amazing project, and from a historical sense, but also the opportunity to really use storytelling through current military veterans and share some of their stories as well. So tell me a little bit about what inspired you to start the Letters Project.
I was looking for a new project to get involved, to get, for Returning Soldiers Speak to get involved in. And I met with a board member and Les, and somehow the idea of letters written during war and then new original work written by veterans living today combined into a theater piece. That's how it came about. It was through discussion, tossing ideas out, and that's how the concept was born, for lack of a better word. So that's how it happened. But during this research part yesterday, I realized how there's something very interesting about the letters written by active duty, because they're in war, or they are stationed somewhere else, but the letters are written in real time. And then how we're having veterans write about the letters or their own experiences. There's something very interesting about that historical context, but then the present time. Did that make sense?
Yeah, it sounds like sort of the way for people from different periods within the military in the United States history, but having sort of a kind of universal connection about serving in the military or those military experiences.
Correct. And also with that, we're also interested in what is different. In other words, what is different for a young kid who fought during, the Iraq Operation Iraqi Freedom? What is different between their experience and someone who was involved in World War One, who was, a cook on the front lines in World War One? What is different between, and also what is the same?
Now, so I know we've been using Chapman University as a resource as well in this, and they've been just incredibly helpful in researching different letters and curating letters. So tell me a little bit about working with Chapman and why this has been such a valuable resource for us.
To sit in their research library and actually hold the letters that were written during the Philippine-American War or World War I or the Korean War is an extraordinary experience because we're holding the actual letter that was written and received and read. So we're not just researching on the internet, but we're doing that deep research, and they have an incredible, what, a couple 100,000 letters. It's that's the amazing part. They're very kind, they're very gracious, and to also go into the, as we sit there and read the letters, we're actually, for me, I'm living part of their life. And I think that you said something one time like their 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 lives become part of our heart. They're like, they become part of us. So that's that, for me personally, that's an amazing experience to go in so deeply into their lives and learn not only what is happening in the context of the era that they served in the military, but also the human being, how they were human beings. And then to watch Les sit and read the Korean era, because he fought in the Korean War, is also another aspect of the project that I find so meaningful. And that also is one of the reasons for the project, is to give venue to the veterans to explore another aspect of the military so that they also can gain new understanding about their own life and their own military experience.
Amazing.
And then to
Yeah.
sit across and watch you just, delve into the diary and into the letters. It's really a profound, meaningful experience.
It really is. It's been wonderful on so many levels. It's almost like you're pulling back the veil on these really personal stories shared amongst people who are in really, scary and terrifying situations halfway
Mhm.
across the world, and all they really want to do is be back with their family. And these letters are really that lifeline to their
Yeah.
family. I mean, prior to, the
Mhm.
internet and cell phones and all that stuff, these letters were really the main form of communication between them. And
Correct. Yeah. And what's also interesting, almost everyone talks about the food. Here they are in war or whatever, and they list what they had for lunch, or they list what they had for dinner. And also, again, when you mentioned about wanting to be home, the even though they're far away from home, there's that link or that thread connecting them to home, which is, you know, yeah,
so
part of the human
powerful.
experience. Hmm.
So we've spent the past 3 or 4 months going down to Chapman University, as well as receiving different letters from 5 months. Wow. Yeah. So it's been 5 months that we've been working on this, and we've received letters from the general public as well, but
Hmm.
also
Hmm.
a lot of the research at Chapman University has, we've been able to get a lot of really incredible stories and letters and people from that. So now we're on to this next phase, though, which is very exciting. And you are going to be running the next phase, which is the writer's portion. So tell me a little bit
Mm.
about the writer's portion of the letters project.
So we've paired letters with veterans, and they will be reading the letters and exploring and discovering what what they want to say about the letters, or what the essence of the letter is, what they have in common, what is different. And they'll be writing a monologue or a short play. So this is the process of writing, a lot of exploring and discovering, and then we'll be shaping it as, after that, then they'll be shaping the theater piece, their individual theater piece, and then we're going to put them into, we're going to form a whole. Somehow it will all come together. I trust. I've worked in process for a long time. I have to trust that this next section is going to work. that somehow all the different pieces, because we have an innate forming ability as human beings, that it will all just form into this theater piece. Yeah, and that's is it's a lot of unknown territory. Let's just say that we're stepping now into unknown territory and seeing, giving a place for the veterans to find their voice and write story through these letters. Mm.
It's powerful. Well, this
Mm.
is a really exciting next phase of the project, and I can't wait to share updates with all of our Arts Up LA and What's Up LA supporters. So we'll keep you posted. But
Mm.
Leilani, I want to thank you so much for joining us today and sharing some updates on the Letters Project.
Thank you, Bryan, very much. We appreciate it. On behalf of Returning Soldiers Speak, thank you so very much.
All right. So now we can stop.